What was you saying about Congress critters? Are they like horse critters that just roam around and eating all the time?
No, Congress critters are people who are elected to office by the citizens, and they live pretty much off the people's taxpayer money. And we have 7 of them in Oklahoma. We have 5 of them in the House and 2 of them in the Senate. And 5 of the House members are up for re-election this year, but only 1 senator is up. And so I'd like to talk about them a little bit, and so people will know something about them. Let's start with Mark Wayne Mullen in Congrestic District 2, because that's the one that we live in. We want Social Security to be more of a plan where it would be like a real trust fund and people would own it. But Mark Wayne Mullen's not big on Social Security. You can't hardly ever find him talk about it. But here's a thing from 2018, August, when he wrote in his Mulling It Over column. And Mark Wayne said, every year since 1984, Social Security has brought in more income than necessary to pay out benefits. By the end of 2017, Social Security Fund held $2.89 trillion in reserves. Rather than let that money sit in the bank, Social Security invests the surplus in government bonds that earn interest. These bonds, which are fully backed by the United States Treasury, can then be used for other government needs, such as constructing roads and bridges, while they are making money for its Social Security beneficiaries. Now, a lot of people, know that Mark Wayne Mullen is a Republican. But if he believes that, why is he letting the government take our Social Security money and spend it on things we've already paid for? We pay taxes already for roads, bridges, education, and other needs. So I think it could be better done if we had a real trust fund where we, the citizens, are the owners. Also, in comparison, here is a Democrat from Oregon named Earl Blumenauer, and he's been in office since around 1996. And he says in here, and listen closely now, for years, Social Security's income has exceeded its payout. The trust fund has grown as intended, and current assets are around $2.9 trillion. That's exactly what Mark Wayne Mullen had just said. And even though he's a Republican, he goes on to say, this Democrat Earl Blumenauer says, excess funds in the Social Security Trust Fund are invested in federal securities, which are owned by the trust fund and backed by the full faith and credit of the government. These dollars are then available to be spent on things other than Social Security. So they're both similar in that way. They both don't support people having Social Security for themselves. So even though one's a Republican and one's a Democrat, they support pretty much the same thing. And furthermore, when you look down on the you can see Tom Cole, who is up for re-election, and he's over in Congressional District 4, and he has options that he talked about back in 2016, because you can't hardly find nothing on them very often on Social Security. They don't seem to want to help the old people as much as they claim they want to. But he wants to, in his writings here, he basically says that Social Security is the third rail of politics. If you touch it, you will die. But some of the options, and one of them he named here, would be to reduce benefits for the top 25% of the wage earners. That's means testing. That means if they think you made too much money in your lifetime, they would cut your benefits from Social Security or give you none. His other option is, right here, to raise the retirement age to 68, 69, or 70, because the average life expectancy in the United States continues to rise. He goes to end it with, further down, we just need our elected officials to have the backbone to start telling the truth about the challenges facing the very popular Social Security program, and to be honest and start a dialogue with the American people. Well, he don't have much backbone, because he's been up there since 2003, and he hasn't addressed nothing to make Social Security better. So when you look over here at all these different ones, there's also Frank Lucas of Congressional District 3, Kevin Hearn of Congressional District 1, and Kendra Horn of Congressional District 5, and she is a Democrat. But she is also like that with her party. They do not want to make it where Americans can own their own Social Security fund. They will not hardly sit down and talk seriously about it with anyone. So at the end, I'd like to say that we here at Americans for Social Security Trust and Choice would like to ask people that in Congressional District 2 do not vote for Mark Wayne Mullen. He would be doing the same for the next 2 years, and you would not be getting any improvement in your Social Security and other issues. So we would recommend that you do not vote for him at all, and please vote for Rhonda Hopkins for Congress. We would pick her because we believe and know her very well. She's our daughter. Might as well say that one. And over in Congressional District 4, we would like to recommend James Taylor. I have talked with him a couple of times on the phone. Unfortunately, I've never met the man, but he's got to be better than what you got in Tom Cole. And over in CD5, when they're having a big primary over there amongst the Republicans, and one of them would have to try to beat Kendra Horn and hope that would be done. But we would look toward Terry Neese instead of Stephanie Bice, just because Stephanie Bice is already in the Oklahoma legislature, and she has proven to be a tax and spend Republican. And so pretty much vote out all the Congress critters that are incumbents, because Congress critters, as my wife says, runs around in the pasture like horses, living off of the citizens and not really accomplishing much each day. Thank you.
I would like to add, with new candidates like my daughter Rhonda Hopkins and JJ Stent, we need new young people with enthusiasm, inspirations. They'll be like a breath of fresh air in Washington. Thank you.